Wild ideas, wild growth. Welcome to the trailer for the Wild Business Growth Podcast. This is your place to hear from a new entrepreneur every single Wednesday morning who's turning wild ideas into wild growth. I'm your host, Max Branstetter, founder and podcast producer at MaxPodcasting. And I have been fascinated by the entrepreneurial journey since I was little. I grew up, my parents were entrepreneurs. I spent some time working with our family business that they started, Hippo Direct, and I eventually spun out my own business, MaxPodcasting, and now have an incredibly, even more real appreciation for the entrepreneurial journey. Here's what to expect in the Wild Business Growth Podcast if this is your first time tuning in. You will hear wild entrepreneurs, really creative, outside-the-box entrepreneurs share their story going from idea to full-fledged business and actually how they grew that business as well. And on top of that, I love to dive into who they are as a person as well. So you'll hear some of their pet peeves, their quirks, their weird talents, and of course, a totally random, seemingly non sequitur version of rapid fire Q&A. And there are a crazy amount of puns and terrible dad jokes throughout because that's the only way, unfortunately, I know how to roll. A few key things to keep in mind if this is your first time tuning in. Number one, there are new episodes every Wednesday morning. Number two, the only type of episodes that stray away from the typical interview format are the big milestone episodes. So episode 100, 200, 300, yada, yada, yada. Those have some returning guest interviews. Those have some best of moments as well as bloopers, fun snippets from that batch of 100 episodes. So if you want to get a crash course into the wild, then you can listen to one of those. And then finally, every year around Thanksgiving, we release a family or family business episode. So that has been extra cool to interview my parents, my wife Dana, my father-in-law, and many, many more family and family business members as well. You're probably wondering where to start. You can start at way back in episode 1, which was released in August 2018. Just keep in mind, things were pretty rough as far as my speaking into mic ability and editing prowess way back then. So be patient with those, but there are some golden interviews back then as well. And here are some recos of some of the most fan favorite episodes ever. So you can bounce around and dive into these if you want. There's the interview with Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson. There is the interview with Matt Mullenweg from WordPress, Ali Webb from Drybar, Stacy Madison from Stacy's Pita Chips, Scott Hansen from NFL RedZone and Olympics Gold Zone, Joe Pelletieri, the magician behind Big Mouth Billy Bass. And if you go way back, even before the podcast switched from Hippo Direct to Max Podcasting, you can find the interview with Susan Bennett, the original voice of Siri on the iPhone. Thank you so much for tuning in and officially becoming a wild listener. If you want to make sure you get the latest episodes ASAP, then make sure to hit follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a review or a rating if you are feeling extra wild or just, shake your head to all the puns. And if you want to catch the video versions of the episodes, you can subscribe on YouTube at Max Branstetter. That is it. I'm exhausted from this trailer, but really excited to have you as a wild listener and looking forward to releasing more wild episodes soon. Until next time, let your business run wild.
Bring on the bongos!